Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video. So I just got back from Germany. I went over to that Didacta Messe exhibition, which is an educational exhibition. They hold them every year in Stuttgart, Cologne, or Munich, I think. Maybe one of those. And then they rotate them around basically every 3 years. And yeah, so this one was in Stuttgart. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I went with my boss and one of the mechanical engineers that I work with, and it was a lot of fun. I must say it was nice to see what everybody else, especially a lot of the big, so I work for a pretty small company in Halifax in the UK, and it's like these were big, massive German companies. So it was quite interesting actually, because a lot of people I spoke to were like, "Oh, you're a competitor," and then I'm like, "Really? barely scratch the surface of your production." But yeah, anyways, it was pretty interesting to see just the amount of PLCs everywhere. It could clearly, obviously for me being a controls engineer, it's pretty exciting to see PLCs everywhere. But it's like you can clearly kind of get the sense that everybody's ramping up their manufacturing now, which is interesting. I don't know if it's got something to do with China. Maybe everyone wants to start producing things again, which is probably a good thing. But yeah, so it was nice to see all the educational material. I was keen to see how people were doing their PLC stuff, and it seems like pretty much everybody's doing the exact same thing. So there wasn't really much to learn there. It was interesting that the automotive side of things was pretty cool. Like Lucas Nuller had some crazy automotive gear, and that was very impressive. Another company, Auto Edu, they had some pretty cool automotive equipment. So yeah, the industrial automation and automotive sectors, those were the two areas that I was most interested in, and it was pretty cool to see. There was one company's LexSolar. They had some incredible Raspberry Pi web server HMI stuff. I was very impressed by that. It was pretty cool to see 3D printing everywhere. A bunch of those, at least 4 Bamboo Lab printers that I saw. And I've got an Ender 3 from 10 years ago or 7 years ago, whenever it was. And, just seeing the Bamboo Lab printers, I'm like, ooh, I'd like to get one. But yeah, it was interesting to see, people were actually using 3D printed parts on their final production ready educational kits. That was interesting to see. I saw an incredible hydraulic systems trainer from this company, ID Systems, French company. It was pretty cool, really. It was big industrious hydraulic trainer using when I saw it, I was like, oh, this reminds me of when I used to work with Atos and on Atos valves, oil gear. And then I just see they got stacks of Atos valves in them. So it was cool to see a proper industrial hydraulics trainer. And so yeah, I look forward to getting into hydraulics. And then I encountered Automation Studio, which, if you watched my last video when I went to Germany 2 years ago, they were discussing how they use Automation Studio. So it was nice to see Automation Studio here at Didacta, and they had some, their software is pretty cool. I do need something that I can create electrical schematics on, just for the students to be able to understand what's going on with the kit. And I might end up using just Automation Studio and not going with something like a SolidWorks Electrical or ePlan or something like that. So yeah, that might be interesting to try out Automation Studio. So you might see some videos of me doing Automation Studio on that. I did see this absolutely crazy kit from this company, Bema, but I'll put their logo. They go under another name as well. But they were doing PLC cybersecurity solutions. So it's pretty cool. The guy had a little demo kit where he had a conveyor belt. It was basically detecting inductive and capacitive sensors, detecting different either coins or something, and was knocking them off the conveyor belt. And then he was showing how he's got this cybersecurity hacking tool thing where he types in the IP address of the PLC, and then he changes the speed parameter on the conveyor belt, and then it can't knock off the coins or whatever anymore, and it messes up the whole system. And it just reminded me of the whole, you might know about Stuxnet, which was when America basically sent it was some sort of virus IP address or IP sniffer thingy that they sent to Iran. And basically what the Stuxnet thing was doing was it was looking for Siemens PLCs and then changing parameters by speeding up or slowing down their fans or their cooling or their motors, and just messing up all of their chemical facilities basically around around their nuclear production. So really they were messing with Iran for years, and George Bush passed it on to Obama or something. It was some big Stuxnet sort of virus attack. So this guy had a PLC training solution that was teaching you how to defend yourself and your systems against that, which I thought was fascinating. It was cool to see IO-Link everywhere. That was pretty cool as well. And then there was a lot of kits that were using mains voltage 230 and 400, and that was really cool to see. I kind of thought that would always be a problem. So seeing actual 400-volt kits, and then even one company had a 500-volt DC battery in a car. So yeah, again, it was cool to see. I must say, the German, French, European engineering, it was pretty impressive, and I've got quite a lot of ideas that I would like to implement. One thing that I saw in Germany that was probably my peak, well, one company, Gunt. I'll do 2 shout outs. Probably the 2 highlights of my trip was, number one, Gunt had this crazy structures kit for like civil engineers and mechanical engineers, and it was just like this beautiful LED lighting up displays, just beautiful mechanical engineering, beautiful electrical engineering. That was beautiful. But probably my peak best crazy moment was, I was in this restaurant eating food, went to the toilet, flushed the toilet, and the toilet seat span and it cleaned itself. Something pops out and then it washes the, yeah, anyways, it was crazy. I've never seen something like that before, a self-cleaning toilet. And if you would have told me about that before, I would have said that is absolutely pointless. But after I saw it, I was like, damn, everywhere should have this. So yeah, that was probably my favorite piece of engineering, and it had nothing to do with the exhibition. And I guess one point I'll mention lastly, just because I feel like if a company is going to behave like this, they should get called out on it. And this company, ETS, they had kits similar to Festo, and Festo's kits were very good. ETS had similar kits. I couldn't really even tell the 2 companies apart. So they didn't really have anything special. They had basic Siemens unified panels, basic conveyor belt systems. So I went onto their stand after I just spent like half an hour with Festo, and then I was like, okay, yeah, kind of same of. So pull my phone out and I just did like a pan around video of their stand. Guy walks up to me and goes, "What are you doing? Don't be recording." I'm like, "You what, mate?" And so he's like, "Oh, you're a competitor." I'm like, "Not really. I'm not really a competitor." And he goes, "Don't take pictures." I went, "Okay, that's fine. I won't take pictures." So then 2 minutes later, all I did was just pull my phone out for something, and then a girl came up to me who worked there at ETS and was like, "Don't take pictures." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. I won't take pictures. What's the problem anyway?" She goes, "You're a competitor. You're a competitor." I'm like, "You're here to show off." And she goes, "You're not buying anything." And I was like, "You what? No one's buying anything here. You're literally just showing off your gear, aren't you?" Which it's crazy, because how does she know I'm not buying anything? I would have gladly worked with them. Definitely not now. And then she tells me to get off the stand. So I was like, okay. I stepped to the side, got off the carpet that was on their stand little platform thing, and I just typed in ETS electrical machines, went onto their website, pulled up their data sheet, and then showed it in their face and was like, "You're concerned about me taking pictures when I have all of the information on the website?" And it's just absolute weirdo company, and just I don't know what their problem is. Anyways, yeah. So I would probably never do any dealings with ETS. Just absolutely terrible. And it was interesting because it was 2 different staff members. Clearly, that's their sort of prerogative. But it's annoying because that happened to me at the beginning of the show, and then I was kind of just uncomfortable pulling out my phone throughout the rest of the show, and that kind of it meant I didn't get as much footage, and yeah, sucks really, because all I'm doing is just trying to vlog, which is, yeah, anyway, it's crazy. So overall, really good show. ETS suck, would never use them. Everybody else is really cool. Festo, Gunt, LexSolar was pretty cool. Auto Edu, Lucas Nuller, Labeled, Five, they're pretty cool. Yeah, some really good companies. Yeah, overall had a really good trip. It was worth it to go for the day. I probably wouldn't go for longer than a day, but a day was enough to get a good look around. So cool. All right, that's just my trip summed up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next one. Take care. Bye bye.